You've given us a really compelling set of sources this time. And knowing you want to get straight to the heart of things, we've really focused on the recent journey of Pinky Cole Hayes, the founder of Slutty Vegan.
Mhm.
It's a story packed with unexpected twists, lessons not just about building a business, but also navigating some genuinely startling life moments.
Yeah.
You're looking for those aha moments,
Yeah,
right? Without getting bogged down. So our mission here is to pull out the most crucial insights from her recent interview, resilience, business strategy, and how these crazy unexpected events can change everything.
Absolutely. And what strikes me immediately is her candor. She talks openly about huge professional setbacks and this really, truly unforeseen personal trauma. For you, the listener, it's a powerful look at how linked our personal and professional lives are and, the need to be ready for anything.
Okay, let's jump right into this moment that's almost unbelievable. You saw it in material. She's driving in Atlanta, 70 millirager, totally focused, not texting or anything. And boom! A mattress flies off another car, slams right into her windshield. I mean, it's like something at a Final Destination, isn't it? What was your first thought reading that?
It's genuinely shocking. And the fact she makes a point of saying she wasn't distracted just highlights how random and unavoidable it was.
Yeah.
But beyond the sheer drama, what's interesting is how she interpreted it almost immediately.
Yeah.
She saw it as a message,
Yeah.
a forced pause. It makes you think, how do we react to sudden disruptions? Just negatively? Or is there a chance to sort of reevaluate?
Exactly. She even joked about it, didn't she? Said something like, God threw a damn bed on me.
Yeah.
It's such a human way to process something potentially traumatic, finding that dark humor, to admit maybe she needed to slow down. And this wasn't happening in a vacuum, was it? This crazy near miss came right after a massive shift with her business.
That's the crucial link. The accident was shortly after she went through the difficult process of losing ownership of Slutty Vegan, the multi-million-dollar business she built. And it wasn't a slow decline. She points to exorbitant corporate spending, overhead hitting about $10 million. For you, this really flags a key challenge in scaling. You have to watch those operational costs. Growth isn't everything. Efficiency is vital.
10 million in overhead. Wow. That really paints a picture of the complexities of rapid growth. And she admitted, didn't she, that her strength was the vision, the brand building. She said she wasn't the operational person needed then.
Yeah.
The lesson she shared, you can never take your hands off the wheel, even with a team. That feels really relevant for anyone leading something.
It really does. It highlights a common issue for founders, The skills that launch a business aren't always the same ones needed to manage it at scale. Recognizing that gap and the consequences if you don't address it, it's a big takeaway for anyone growing an organization.
And recognizing that led to a really tough call on February 13th. She had to restructure, hand over ownership to an assignee. She mentioned struggling with that, worrying about public perception. I mean, think about the emotional side, building something so iconic, then stepping back from control.
Oh, absolutely. Her hesitation is so understandable. Founders often feel this deep, personal tie to their creation, especially when it becomes part of their public identity like Slutty Vegan did. The fear of judgment, the vulnerability, it must have been immense. It makes you wonder how we handle situations where our professional identity shifts dramatically.
But here's where it gets really interesting, especially thinking about her book, I Hope You Fail. It's almost like perfectly ironic, right? Losing the business seems like a massive failure, but it directly mirrors the book's main idea that failures are actually the building blocks for what comes next. How do you see that playing out?
It's such a powerful alignment of her philosophy and her reality. She talks about the business journey having left turns, U-turns, speed bumps, and then, well, literally a mattress. For you listening, it reinforces that setbacks aren't just possible. They're often where the real learning happens. They can redirect you in unexpected, sometimes better ways. It's about reframing failure, isn't it? Not as the end, but as part of the journey.
And she's been through it before, right? She talked about losing her first restaurant in a grease fire back in 2016, then car repossession, eviction.
Yeah.
She actually calls herself an expert at failing.
Right.
There's a real power in owning that, knowing you can get back up.
Absolutely. That history, navigating those earlier huge challenges, probably gave her a kind of resilience, a mindset to face this latest difficulty with more fortitude. For you, it highlights how reflecting on your past challenges, recognizing the resilience you've already shown, can be a real asset when facing new hurdles.
So the business is restructured. She has this terrifying accident. You might expect someone to just, disappear for a while, but she says she immediately went into strategy mode. That's quite a reaction. What does that tell us?
It's pure proactive coping. Instead of getting stuck on the setback, She immediately pivoted to future action, hiring a headhunter for new leadership, even while she technically didn't own the company. It shows she was thinking ahead, committed to the brand's future, even if her role was changing. For you, it really emphasizes keeping a solution-focused mindset, even when things look bleak.
And then the really incredible twist. March 28th, 2025, she buys her company back. I mean, that's a remarkably fast turnaround. What does that signal?
It screams belief in the brand and sheer determination. It also suggests she strategically figured out what went wrong and had a clear plan to fix it. For you, it shows that even big, seemingly final decisions aren't always final if you have the strategy and the will. And the new company name is something else. Ain't Nobody Coming to See You, Otis LLC.
Yeah.
It's from the Temptations movie, for those who don't know. What's the significance there for her?
She explained that, Slutty Vegan's magic was so tied to her connection with people, and maybe she felt she hadn't fully owned that power initially. Now she realizes her superpower with people is key, that their support is essential. The name is like a reminder to always bring your A game because nothing's guaranteed. It anchors the brand's future right back to her drive, her authenticity.
That's a really interesting recentering. It's leaning into her personal brand as a core asset, which can actually make the connection with the audience stronger, more authentic. For you, it underlines the power of personal branding, whether you're leading a company or just pursuing your own goals.
So where is Slutty Vegan now? She mentioned 8 locations, currently 5 in Georgia, 1 each in Alabama, Maryland, and New York. Seems like there was some consolidation during the restructure, though.
Yes, it looks like some spots, maybe New York, Texas, and those university locations at Georgia Tech and Spelman were closed, either temporarily or for good, during that restructuring. It probably reflects a strategic move to tighten operations, fix the financial issues that caused the problems, and build a more solid base for what comes next. For you, it shows those tough but necessary calls you sometimes have to make to ensure a business's long-term health.
And now we're hearing Slutty Vegan 2.0. She talks about new rules and new intentions, keeping the same essence but with a new flow. What can we take from that kind of language?
It suggests keeping the core vibe, what people loved, but bringing in stricter business strategies and operational fixes. New rules and new intentions definitely implies learning from the past, a more disciplined approach to management and growth. For you, it highlights being adaptable, evolving while staying true to your core mission.
And growth is clearly back on the agenda in a big way. She mentioned hyperscaling, global expansion, even talks about Dubai and Africa. That's a huge vision.
It certainly is. It shows renewed ambition and a strong belief the brand can go worldwide. And hinting that others might get to invest in their own Slutty Vegan locations, that suggests maybe a franchise or licensing model is part of the plan for faster growth. For you, it's about having that long-term vision and exploring different ways to scale whatever you're working on.
And it's not just Slutty Vegan. She's got Bar Vegan and this broader Hayes hospitality group with her husband, Derek Hayes, from Big Dave's Cheesesteaks. It sounds like they're aiming for a real food empire.
Absolutely. Combining their ventures under the Hayes Hospitality Group shows serious ambition in the wider hospitality space. It's about leveraging their individual successes, creating synergy between brands, and ultimately connecting with more people, building community through food.
It all seems to lead to her saying she eventually wants to sit back and watch all of the great brands that I build and create be successful. That feels like a vision focused on legacy, on empowering others, even after going through some major turbulence.
It's a powerful, long-term view, looking beyond just one business's day-to-day. It suggests wanting to create lasting impact through multiple ventures, maybe empowering others through those brands' success. For you, it's a good reminder to think about your own long-term goals and the kind of legacy you want to build.
So just to wrap it up for you, we saw the totally unexpected, the mattress on the highway, a real wake-up call. This happened right as Slutty Vegan went through that major business shift. But the key is Pinky Cole Hayes' resilience, how she lived out her failure as a stepping stone idea, and then acted decisively to buy back her company, launching Slutty Vegan 2.0 with big plans, all while expanding her hospitality footprint. It's a powerful narrative about navigating shocks and turning them into fuel.
Exactly. And it really shows how messy and nonlinear these journeys can be, both personally and professionally. Unexpected stuff happens, setbacks are almost guaranteed, but it's that ability to adapt, learn, and just keep going that shapes the outcome. For you, it reinforces needing that adaptability, that growth mindset, on your own path.
Which brings us to our final thought for you. Thinking about Pinky Colhay's story, that intense personal connection to her brand, the loss and buyback, how her personal philosophy guided her. What role do you think personal identity plays in a business's success? And maybe its vulnerabilities too. And how might those unexpected hard times actually lead to more authentic, maybe even stronger growth in the end? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.